Okay, so I'm a big Nintendo fan, as if that wasn't painfully obvious by my many toys and wall of Wii games right here. And one of my pet peeves when it comes to gaming is people who say that Nintendo doesn't make new IPs, or that they don't have that many IPs. Which, on the one hand, I can kind of understand, because they're constantly throwing Mario and Zelda and Animal Crossing and Kirby games at us that you might think that that's all they have. But then on the other hand, they've been making video games for over 40 years. What the fuck do you mean they don't have new IPs?
They've been making tons and tons of IPs since the very beginning. From obscure arcade games to NES games you probably didn't even know were first party, to the modern day with the original eShop properties coming out all the time. Just because it doesn't have a character in Smash Brothers doesn't mean it doesn't exist. This is something I've always been pretty fascinated by, and I've considered making various videos and even made concepts for a book specifically about all the games and franchises Nintendo actually owns. But due to things like time, resources, and the ever-looming fear of a cease and desist, I've never really gone forward with any of that.
Now, while I don't know if this will become a regular thing on this channel or not, something happened recently in the world of Nintendo news that made me want to dive back into that Nintendo history that I love oh so much. See, back in the 70s, before video games were a widespread thing, Nintendo was still a toy company, and they were just trying to make it in a market that was considered the future of toys. So before they had a big hit with Donkey Kong in 1981, they made a bunch of other smaller arcade games, including an obscure game by the name of Monkey Magic in 1979. Monkey! No, not that one. Why am I bringing this game up in particular? Well, for years, it seemed as if it had disappeared off the face of the earth. There's so little information about this game that some people believe that it was never actually fully released to the public at all. All that we have to go off of that it existed was an arcade flyers that were like posted around Japan that showed pictures of the game and how to play it, and one image of it in a Japanese arcade some 30 years ago. I mean, those are ancient, in today's standards, ancient information. Like, we haven't seen anything from it since then. So for all we know, it's long gone. There are no more cabinets. However, on October 6th, an auction for an original Monkey Magic arcade cabinet went up for sale on Yahoo Auctions in Japan. This is the first upright cabinet of the game to be seen in over 30 years. It's a pretty amazing find and a fascinating tidbit of information for Nintendo fans like me. A cocktail cabinet kit of the game was found back in 2015, and it has since been put online in ROM form so that it can be played on emulators such as MAME, again for the first time in over 30 years. So, seeing as the game is back in the news, I decided to give it a try because I never played it before. And I'm going to share my experience with you guys, because that's what gets me going, you know? You know?
The game is, on a basic level, a breakout clone. You know, that classic arcade/Atari game where you control a paddle and try to break all the bricks at the top of a screen? There's millions of those. Nintendo even made a few, including one for arcades a few years earlier known as Block Fever, but that hasn't been seen in years either. The goal is to break apart the monkey piece by piece, and I have to say, I freaking love the way this giant monkey head looks. With all the bright neon colors, it's so amazingly early arcade. Somebody needs to get this monkey more attention. Make this a stage in Smash Brothers. Somebody call up the Yeti and get this on a t-shirt. I would wear that on a t-shirt. Anyway, back to breaking apart the groovy primate into pieces. Part of the fun of the mini breakout clones was the way they controlled. They used a little dial-like controller that allowed for better analog movement. This kind of thing was common in arcades, but would go on to be used on many different Pong consoles, as well as various peripherals for the Atari consoles, the NES, and even the Nintendo DS. The closest thing I can use to play it on MAME is a mouse, which actually controls pretty well, even if I suck at it. The monkey has to be broken apart in phases. First the teeth, then the face, then the top of the head. Simple, but this structure is what sets it apart from Breakout. First, you have to open the monkey's mouth by hitting these little arrow things into its jaw. This is the most annoying part because it's hard enough to aim at large bricks, let alone small targets. Once you get the mouth open, you now have to destroy the teeth. This is probably the funniest part. Look at the silly monkey with his Cletus jaw. Once the teeth are gone, you have to change all the monkey's face from blue to green. I guess they thought breaking a monkey face into small chunks was a bit too violent? I have no idea, but I really have to question now, what exactly is the plot of this game? I know arcade games don't really need to have plot, but most of them are pretty straightforward. Space Invaders is about saving Earth, Donkey Kong is about rescuing the girl. Why are you destroying this monkey face? Why is he so big? Is this a giant space monkey? Maybe it's a spaceship filled with an alien race of smaller monkeys? The eye is closed though, so that can't be it. Unless it's a Voltron. Maybe you're a flea on a regular-sized monkey, and you're just trying to avoid being eaten by another monkey. I have no idea. It's very strange. But this was the early days of video games. Anything fucking went back then. If you manage to hit both of the monkey's eyes and open them back up, his jaw comes back, and you can use that to keep the ball on the monkey's face a bit longer.
And saying that sentence out loud? Fuck it. It's fine.
After you turn its face all green by rubbing your gross flea butt all over it, yes, that's the plot I'm sticking with, go with it, you have to destroy the top of its head, presumably to make some sweet frozen monkey brains like in that Indiana Jones movie.
Chilled monkey brain.
After that, the stage starts over. There's no ending or anything like that. You just go on as long as you can and try to get more points, because that's all they had back then. We live in a world where beating a game nets you a cool cutscene or achievements or trading cards or some other nonsense, so I don't really care about points, and I stopped after that. When you die, the monkey laughs at you like a dickhead. No wonder that flea is trying to suck your face off, you banana-chomping prick.
That's pretty much all there is to Monkey Magic. It definitely shows its age, but I really like Breakout, and I think this one might actually be better, honestly.
There's a bit more strategy involved. Having to hit certain areas to make it so you can access the other parts of the monkey makes it feel like there's more progression. In Breakout, you just kind of knock down all the bricks and then do it again. It's basic and fun, but there's not much to it. And while there's not much more to Monkey Magic, the little bits it does add give it a slight edge over Breakout. At least, in my opinion.
The cabinet ended up selling for almost $4,000 US dollars, and I hope that whoever gets a hold of it can shed some light into the mystery that is this game, and maybe figure out what the hell did Nintendo have against monkeys back then. I mean, friggin' this game, you're like destroying a monkey's face. Donkey Kong, you're dropping apes off of buildings. They had another early arcade game called Sky Skipper where you were going around dropping bombs from airplanes on top of gorillas. I mean, what the fuck? Did they walk in on their mom and a gorilla in bed? Did a monkey take the last sprinkled donut from the break room at work? Was her childhood dentist a monkey? I mean, seriously, what the hell, Nintendo? Either way, thank God Rare showed up and showed them that not all monkeys deserve to be targets of their abuse. This ending really got away from me.
Hi. Thanks for watching my video. I really appreciated it. If you want to see more videos like this, you should go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That would be super nice. It would also help if you would comment and like it and favorite it and all that good stuff. It gets me higher up there on them YouTube searches, you know what I'm saying? I also have another video down here, my recently released Ninja Baseball Batman video. That one's really good. I like that one a lot. You should watch it. You know, I wasn't planning on making this video. It just kind of happened. I had plans. I wanted to make like a Halloween video, but another far more famous actual YouTube personality made the exact same video that I wanted to make, or the list that I wanted to make rather. His picks were not the same, but it was the same concept. So I just didn't. I didn't have time for it anyway. So this is what you get instead. Happy Halloween. Ooh.